All right, boys and girls, 36 Plymouth. This is one of those situations where you keep fixing it till it's broken. Look at him. We're getting at the leaf springs. There's a new shock mount there. There's a new shock mount there. Beefy suckers. 4x4 type stuff. But here's the dealio. Air shocks did not give me the lift I wanted. They would only give me 2 inches of lift, and I want 4 to 6. Make this thing jack up like a gasser. And then after I got to screwing with it, I thought the ride height was perfect until I got to messing with it. But no, I want it 2 inches lower. So when I jack it up to be a gasser, get more lift between the tire that was right along in there, about 3.5 inches, to then I want to get about 7 inches, 8 inches gap or more. I'd like to get 6 inches of lift to really get that front end up and just make it look like a full-on gasser. Air shocks won't do it. So we're looking at coming in right in here, between here and here, with an air bag, or here to up there with an air bag. Regular shocks. With the bags deflated, we'll have regular ride height, the raked hot rod. But I wasn't happy with it. I want to lower it another 1.5 inches or 2. So ignore that busted leaf spring right there. We're going to try to leave it in there. These things are doubled. So it's actually that bottom piece, but we still got the top piece holding us. So hopefully it's going to be fine. I'm going to see those marks right there? That's my target. I'm going to take out both of those leaf springs on both sides, put it all back together, sit it back down on the wheels, see what that does for ride height. If that ain't what we want, we're going to put one of them back in, raise it back up. So a little bit of trial and error. There is no formula on this old stuff. And man, let me show you some funky stuff. Look at here. That is the most funky U-bolt I've ever seen in my life. That is absolutely 36 Plymouth original equipment. And I'm trying to be very, you see how clean those threads are. I've chased the threads. Trying to be very careful with this stuff, because if you break it, there won't be no finding another one. Then we'll either be fabricating or making something fit. So anyway, when I get some ride heights going, I probably should have given you a before, but we got some notes taken here. This was our tire to fender gap when we started. I want to take that down somewhere between 1 inch and 2 inches. So you do the math. When I get it all back together, we'll take another measurement, see where we land. Y'all be good. All right, we got 2 leaf springs off, the 2 I have marked on the driver's side, only 1 on the passenger side. You might say, why'd you do that? Well, turns out the spring packs are totally different from left to right. I don't know how it was ever sitting anywhere close to the level, but we got a first guess at it. I got everything back together. You can see that the spring packs are different. But we got it back together. We're going to slap the wheels on it, let the suspension down on the weight of this, or let the car down on the weight, load the suspension, and hopefully it'll be close enough we have to break out the tape measure. Hopefully it won't be so far out that we go, oh crap. So I'll be back in a minute. Look at that, boys and girls. We got visitors in the shop, Pookie and Remy.
Hello.
How about it, Pookie? Remy dog. Look at that Remy dog. All right. We're jacked up on the bridge jack. We got it way up in the air. Keep in mind, we're looking from here to that fender. At previous ride height was 4.5 inches. Now I'm about to drop it down with leaf springs removed, and it's gonna be a little clumsy with the camera. Pookie, can you film this? Just hold it just like that and film me. Don't put your hand over the lens. There you go. Now you're filming. Are you filming?
Yep.
What's up? All right, film the car. We're gonna let it down and see what happens. You think we're good or bad?
You can find out and see.
We're gonna find out in a minute, ain't we?
Yep.
All right, she's on the suspension. I don't believe we got anything. You still filming? Back up over that way. Watch your camera. Film me.
All right.
All right, let's get. I think we got some. Here's the tape measure. Come over here, Pooh. All right, film me right here. Ooh, we're perfect. You get my hand up here, Pooh?
Yep.
Remember, from the tire, come over here where you can see better. You follow me. We might have to edit this video. All right, come here, Pooh. All right, folks, remember, from here to there, we were 4.5 inches. And we were looking to lower the car about 2 inches. So now, we're measuring 2.5, and most of that is diagonally in. So I'm saying we lowered this car dead on 2 inches. Follow me, Poop. Let's see, with the mismatched leaf springs, how we landed on this side. She's about 1/4 of an inch out, which is about where it was, but we tightened up this. So now, we tightened up our wheel well here. Special cameraman Pookie, give him a thumbs up. We tightened that wheel well up nice. It was 4.5 inches from here to here. Now we're on this side 2 and, what did I say it was, Pookie? 2 3/4. Look how well it tightened that wheel well up. Woo, that's sweet. And now keep in mind, when we get, oh man, are we not? Yeah, we're recording, sorry. Keep in mind, when we get the airbags on there, we're gonna get approximately, hopefully 6 inches of lift out of this car. That's gonna put this thing up. That bottom of that lip, that's gonna put it up that high. It'll be gassified. But that looks tough with that front end tucked down. Look at there. Woo-wee. All right, now we get to tighten everything up, sink it all in, and then work on airbag mounts that'll be coming in the next 2 or 3 days. Catch y'all later. Tell them bye, Pookie. Tell them bye, Remy Dog. All right, boys and girls, still on this Plymouth. Here is the drag link end. My buddy Ben, look, that sucker loose. Look, that's the metal washer, clip, whatever, that used to hold the boot. There's no boot. This sucker moves real easy. My buddy Ben Pittman, when he welded on those shock mounts on front, he said, man, that drag link end is about to come apart. And I don't know how close it was to actually coming apart, but I can tell you it's real loose, and some of the wandering in the front end, that might be the problem. So, O'Reilly's rare parts. This joker is listed, I think, as a tie rod end, but it looked identical to me. Even got the Zert fitting in the same spot. So, $151, well, $170 something because you got to pay shipping because it's special order. But it is rare parts. It's not supposed to be new old stock. But you see, it says made in, and there's no no country. I'm sure it's China, but it's tight. Look at this. This was the boot. It looks to be some type of cardboard material. How many years has this thing been on the freaking shelf to come apart like this in the package? Look at it coming apart. So I just ripped it loose. That ain't gonna do nothing. There's that same metal washer bracket as what was left of that one. So forget that. I went rummaging around in some front end parts that I had and found this little bad boy. Look at this. That sucker fits like it was made for it. So we're gonna put this back together, grease it all up. Probably need to grease the whole front end. We've checked the other tie rod ends and drag link ends and stuff. They all seem tight. This one was the only one that seemed sloppy. So it's gonna be tight now. It's a high dollar part, but hey, O'Reilly's got it in 2 days. All right, y'all take care. Hell yeah! Delivery! Get them plums, baby. We're gonna be on air ride here in just a few minutes. Woo, what a song. 35 Plymouth. Hell yeah. All right, I got the air system plumbed on this for my instant gasser project on the 36 Plymouth. So I'm gonna show y'all what we got. Check this out. This is ride height, and it'll settle just a little more as you're going down the road. Probably somewhere half an inch or so. But check this out. You want to go gasser? Check it out. You can probably hear that tank running, or the pump running. The tank wasn't quite full. One tank will give me one lift, and it'll get me up with about a 7-inch gap. And since it wasn't quite full, at full 100-pound PSI, it'll give me just over 7 inches. We got about another quarter, 3/8 of an inch we can go when it's at full PSI. But that's instant gas. Check this out. All right, that's my 7-inch gap at 100 PSI. We don't want to be a gasser no more. Here we go. And that's at full dump. And like I said, as you ride, this will actually settle out about another 1/2 inch or so. But all I gotta do now is wrap up the wiring. We're gonna be driving this sucker soon. Y'all be good.